Good morning all. We have already completed ancient history previous year's prelims PYQ mining. We are now starting art and culture prelims PYQs, that is from 2011 to 2023. The first segment is Indian architecture. Moving to the first question, the 2012 question, the Nagara, the Dravida and the Vesara are three main racial groups of Indian subcontinent, three main linguistic divisions into which the languages of India can be classified, three main styles of Indian temple architecture, three main musical gharanas prevalent in India. As we know, these are the temple architecture, the types of the Indian temple architecture. So, Indian temple architecture is an important topic. And other things are, you also have to know the main racial groups of Indian subcontinents. You have to also learn the three main racial groups of Indian subcontinent, main linguistic divisions into which the languages of India can be classified, and main musical gharanas prevalent in India. In the options, you have to learn these aspects as well. So these are the hints that UPSC is giving through their options. And since Nagara, Dravida and Vesara are all types of Indian temple architecture, we have to know also the differences between these three and if there are other types of temple architectures. This can be asked in prelims and also in mains. So these are the important hints that we are getting from this question. Moving to the next question, 2013 question. With reference to the history of Indian rock cut architecture. Again, there is this clear-cut hint here, history of Indian rock cut architecture. Consider the following statements. So, history of Indian architecture becomes very important. And this is the topic. History means the evolution and the development. Evolution, development, mental stages also becomes important. And what can we learn from the options? The caves at Badami are the oldest surviving rock cut caves in India. You have to read about the Badami caves. The Barabar rock cut caves were originally made for Ajivikas by Emperor Chandragupta Maurya. At Ellora, caves were made for different faiths. Again, UPSC also is hinting, you have to also know whether the caves were meant for different faiths and who built it or who made it, and then what is the oldest surviving rock cut caves. So Badami, Barabar and Ellora, all these three becomes very important. And whenever you are reading these caves, you should also learn whether different religious, was it made for other religious faiths, and you should also learn who made this and for whom. Moving to this next question from the same year. Some Buddhist rock cut caves, see again and again rock cut caves are being asked. So rock cut caves is a very important topic, are called chaityas, while others are called viharas. What is the difference between the two? See again, I've already discussed, if there are anything which is very similar, they'll ask you the difference or common things. So again, here they have asked what is the difference between chaityas and viharas. They can also ask the difference between these three. So whenever you are reading something very two similar things, then you have to learn the differences and commonalities, the common things between them. Here they are asking about chaityas and viharas. These chaityas and viharas are important. You have to read in depth and the differences between the two. Moving to the next question, 2014. With reference to the cultural history of India, again, with reference to cultural history, the Panchayatan refers to an assembly of village elders, a religious sect, a style of temple construction, an administrative functionary. Again, the terms, these are related to terms. In this case, it was related to temple architecture. So, I've already discussed earlier, that is, it was asked in 2012. They asked that what are these three, and again in 2014, they've asked about a particular term, and they have asked what it is with reference to the cultural history of India. So terms and temple architecture is very important. Moving to the next question, that is 2015 question with reference to the art and archaeological history of India. Again, art and archaeological history of India. Which one among the following was made earliest? That is oldest. Okay, the oldest is always important because you can see here also the oldest word was used. The caves at Badami are the oldest surviving, and in 2013 they asked. In 2015 again they have asked which of the following was made earliest, oldest, or older of among all these. Lingaraja temple at Bhuvaneshwar, rock cut elephant at Dhauli, rock cut monuments at Mahabalipuram, Varaha image at Udayagiri. So you have to learn from these options. You can learn that important places and what is it known for. This becomes important places and what is it known for. So your job is to read about the Lingaraja temple at Bhuvaneshwar, rock cut elephant at Dhauli, rock cut monuments at Mahabalipuram, and Varaha image at Udayagiri. So you have to read them specifically so that they can these can become questions in the future UPSC exams. 2016 question. What is are common to the two historical places known as Ajanta and Mahabalipuram? Again, there are comparative questions where they are asking what is common. As I've already told you, common things and different things are very important. Both were built in the same period, both belong to the same religious denomination. Again, they're asking what religious denomination, or in this case, they had asked at Ellora caves. Caves were made for different faiths. Again, religious aspect becomes very important. And rock cut monuments. Rock cut architecture and rock cut monuments are very important. And they're asking whether they were built in the same period or not. That is, during the same era. I hope this is clear. What are they asking and what type of knowledge that you are supposed to have. And these four you have to learn. You have to read about these four and make notes out of it. And temple architecture is also very important. So moving to the next 2017 question. Which of the following is or are famous for sun temples? So sun temples becomes important. The types of temples: Rasavalli, Amarkantak, Omkareshwar. So you have to read about the sun temples. Again, sun temples has become important now because it is now asked in 2017, and also about these three places and other sun temples also which are there. Next, with reference to the cultural history of India. Again, cultural history with reference to, see, you can see the same type of questions is being asked. The STEM also is being asked the same with reference to the cultural history, with reference to the cultural history of India, 2014, 2018. Same STEM with reference to art and archaeological history of India. Again, white marble was used in making Buland Darwaza and Kankha at Fatehpur Sikri. Red sandstone and marble were used in making Bara Imambara and Rumi Darwaza at Lucknow. These may sometimes not be available in standard books. This becomes a difficult question. But moving forward, after 2008, it was your responsibility to learn about the monuments at Fatehpur Sikri and these two, Rumi Darwaza and Bara Imambara. So this was related to the cultural history. Next, 2021, they asked about Chausat Yogini temple situated near Morena. Consider the following statement. It is a circular temple built during the reign of Kachapaghatha dynasty. It is the only circular temple built in India. It was meant to promote the Vaishnava cult in the region. Its design has given rise to a popular belief that it was the inspiration behind the Indian Parliament building. So Chausat Yogini temple was asked before 2011. In one of the prelims it was asked, and hence it became important. Now going forward, again this has become important. They have asked about this temple, about circular temples. This also is important, the types of temples, and what cult was it built or to propagate, and then whether this temple was an inspiration to the parliament building, and if there is any other temple which is from which the parliament building is inspired, then that temple also becomes important. I hope this is clear. We'll move to the next question. 2021, historical places and what is it well known for. Again, these three places becomes important, and what are they famous for. Please read about these three places, and whenever you come across any place, you have to know what is it famous for. So whenever you are reading something, you can make a list of the famous places, historical places, and why they are well known for, and then you can easily revise these things. Moving on to the 2022 question. The Prime Minister recently inaugurated the new circuit house near Somnath temple at Veraval. Which of the following statements are correct regarding Somnath temple? Somnath temple is one of the Jyotirlinga shrines. A description of Somnath temple was given by Al-Biruni. Pran Pratishtha of Somnath temple, installation of the present day temple, was done by President S. Radhakrishnan. Again, once you are reading something in current affairs, and in this case, the option 2 talks about whether a traveler had talked about Somnath temple. So whenever you are reading travelers as a topic, please also try to remember or make a note of the temples or Indian places that the traveler has, Indian temples or places which the traveler has talked about in his works. That becomes very important. Next, 2023. The concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. Stupa was generally a repository of relics. Stupa was a votive and commemorative structure in Buddhist tradition. The stupa is important. Buddhist, whether it is Buddhist in origin or not, and what is relics. So stupa is also important for mains, and it is also important for prelims. Stupa architecture, temple architecture, and in temple architecture, rock cut architectures are important, and you have to know in detail about the rock cut architecture and the places where they are present, and any details if it is there. I hope this is clear. Moving to the next question, consider the following pairs. This is also from 2023, cite and well known for. See, this was asked 2021, which was the historical place and what is it well known for. The same similar question, cite and well known for. So this clearly shows that UPSC is giving you hints. So these two questions are very similar, and it's telling you that these are very important. Similarly, you can also find out here Shaivite cave shrine, Buddhist cave shrines, and Jain cave shrines. So caves and rock cut architecture are important, and again You have to also read about Shaivite cave shrines, Buddhist cave shrines, and Jain cave shrines, and make a note of the important places. And if there are anything unique or special about that place, please make a note of it and revise regularly. Moving to the next segment, that is music. In 2012, they've asked with reference to Drupad, one of the major traditions of India that has been kept alive for centuries. Which one of the following statements are correct? Drupad originated and developed in the Rajput kingdoms during Mughal period. Drupad is primarily a devotional and spiritual music. So they have asked about Drupad here, but there is also a hint. In 2012 itself, there was one more question where they had given you a hint that the musical gharanas are important. That is 2012 question here. The musical gharanas are important. Right? I hope this is clear, and I hope this is how you have to take hints and move in the right direction. Then moving to the next segment, that is dances. How do you distinguish between Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam? See, again, these questions are being repeated, if not the exact dances, but they are asking to distinguish between them. Now, earlier, as we can see, they had asked about the difference between, in this case, they have asked about the common aspects of Ajanta and Mahabalipuram and difference between Chaityas and Viharas. Now, they can ask the same thing with regard to the temple architectures, different racial groups, difference between the main linguistic divisions, or the difference between musical gharanas. So the differences and commonalities becomes very important. This is already shown by UPSC many times. So even for the music also, they can ask you the differences. I hope this is very crystal clear of how UPSC is asking questions. So they are asking the differences. So clearly, you have to learn the differences and the features of each dances. Next question in 2014, with reference to the famous Satriya dance. Famous. So they'll ask you only about things which are very famous. If they ask you things that are not famous, then the question is difficult for everyone. Then you don't have to worry about that question. So try to find some hints in that question. If you can use knowledge gained from other areas in your UPSC preparation, if you can use that knowledge and reduce or eliminate the options, then you can try to attempt those questions. In this case, they are asking about Satriya dance. Satriya is a combination of music, dance, and drama. It is a centuries-old living tradition of, again, which religious sect becomes important. Whenever you are reading something, Kuchipudi, Bharatanatyams, paintings, dances, anything, you have to learn also the religious, and it is based on classical ragas and talas or devotional songs composed by Tulsidas, Kabir, and Mirabai. These three people also become important because they are bhakti saints. I hope this is clear. Next question, 2014. Which of the pair given above are correctly matched? Garba, Mohiniyattam, Yakshagana. And you have to know the places also. What is this and where are the places? What is this? What is Garba? What is Mohiniyattam? What is Yakshagana? How they differ? And in which places they are famous? So these kinds of questions are important. 2017, they asked with reference to Manipuri Sankirtana, consider the following statements. It is a song and dance performance. Cymbals are the only musical instruments used in the performance. It is performed to narrate the life and deeds of Lord Krishna. Again, whenever they are asking about any particular day dance, you have to also know the religious sects or any religious aspects of that particular thing. That is always asked. And in this case, they're also asking whether it's a combination of song and dance performance. Even in the earlier question, they have asked whether Satriya is a combination of music, dance, and drama. So whenever you are reading a particular dance, you have to learn also what is it made up of, what is composed of, whether it is only music, only dance, or only drama, or all the three. So UPSC is giving you hints on how to study the topics and how to make notes and what to write. The next question, 2018, tradition and state. So we've already discussed here. Tradition and state is very important. Again, 2018, same thing was asked, tradition and state. Chapcharkut festival, Kongjam Parba ballad, Thangta dance. Again, you have to read about these three. Where is it prevalent, and then any special aspect of it. I hope this is clear. The next section is images or paintings. Again, these are one of the most repeated questions, and you should learn these things in depth. 2012 question, Lord Buddha's image is sometimes shown with the hand gesture, Bhumisparsha mudra. So these mudras becomes important, and not just what is this mudra. The more important thing is, what does it mean? What does it symbolize? So whenever you are reading any mudra or any images, you have to also learn what is this symbolizing. And I hope this is clear. You have to learn about Buddha in depth. What are his mudras? What are his teachings? What are the places he visited? All that becomes important. Next, in 2013, they asked about, again, this was an image. They asked about mural paintings. Again, historical places was taken. Ajanta, Lepakshi, Sanchi. These are very famous. These are not something which is unknown to everyone. This is very famous because this is in the part. This is the like main topics while you are preparing for UPSC prelims. Even for mains, it becomes very important, and you have to go through these places and make your own notes. And you have to also know what is mural painting, or how do they make it, and what are the important mural paintings available in India. Moving to the next question, that is in 2013 they are asked, again in the context of cultural history of India, a pose in the dance and dramatics called Tribhanga. Again, Bhumisparsha mudra was asked. Here Tribhanga was asked. Has been a main favorite of Indian artists from ancient times till today. Which of the following is correct? So it is describing that what is Tribhanga posture. In 2014, they had asked about, with reference to Indian history of art and culture, again, famous work of the sculpture. This becomes important. Types of sculpture and famous work of the culture and its site. This has already been asked, this type of question. They've already asked, like if you're historical place and well known for, it is already asked in 2021. The same type of question is asked here. Famous work of sculpture and site. Ajanta, Mount Abu, Malappuram. These are all places which you have to read in depth. I hope this is very clear. In the options, a grand image of Buddha's Mahaparinirvana with numerous celestial musicians above and sorrowful figures. And Mahaparinirvana, also a term whose meaning you have to understand. Mahaparinirvana, what it is? A huge image of Varaha avatar of Vishnu as a rescued goddess earth from the deep and chaotic waters, sculpted on rock. Next is Arjuna's penance, descent of Ganga, sculpted on the surface of huge borders, where it is Malappuram or some other place. Again, these are important tourist spots that you have to know and you have to also learn a brief description about these places. In 2017, they asked about the painting of Bodhisattva Padmapani. In when we are reading philosophy, that is under the ancient history PYQs, we had already discussed read about Bodhisattvas. Again, Ajanta, Badami, Bagh and Ellora is very famous and is very important. So these famous places you have to read in detail and make a note of important things or different aspects that makes it very special. I hope this is clear. Next is another school of painting that they have asked, that is in 2018, which is Bani Thani. They have given 4 options, and when you are reading these paintings, you have to also learn about whether they are religious in nature, and if they are religious, what are the sects that it has covered, and what is the theme of it. I hope if that is clear, then you can attempt any question. And even these 4, that is Bundi School, Jaipur School, Kangra School and Kishangarh School, are also important. The next section is inscriptions and edicts. These are important topics and it has been repeated many times. So in 2016, they had asked who of the following had first deciphered the edicts of Ashoka, and these 4 were asked. You have to also read about these 4 and what are they famous for, because these 4 can be used to form another question. In 2019, which of the following relief sculptures inscriptions is Ranyo Ashoka, King Ashoka mentioned along with the stone portrait of Ashoka? Again, they're talking about relief sculpture. This was, they had asked who deciphered the edicts of Emperor Ashoka. In 2019 also, Emperor Ashoka was asked. 2020 also Ashoka was asked. So Ashoka becomes very important. Ashoka is very important. And if you have any edicts, any sculptures or any inscriptions, they are all very vital for your prelims. I hope this is clear. 3 questions, 2016, 19 and 20, all related to Ashoka. One is related to edicts. The second is inscriptions, edicts, inscriptions, and again inscriptions. If you have read that in previous years, 2016, if you know that edicts of Ashoka is important, you could have answered questions. Okay. In 2023 itself, 2022, they have asked again about Ashoka's major edicts. This hint was already given in 2016 here. So, what does the question ask? Which of the following, consider the following pairs, site of Ashoka's major rock edicts, location. So, site and location becomes important. And rock edicts, which state? I hope this is clear. And this is what the new format of the UPSC, only 1 pair, only 2 pair and only 3 pair. So you have to learn these important things, and these are already hinted that edicts will be asked, Ashoka's edicts. So this was in 2016 itself, and it was your job to read that in detail. So if you had read that in detail, you could have answered this question. And you should also know these about these now, Dauli, Eragudi, Jogada and Kalsi. So these becomes very important, and where it is located. Again, 1 pair, only 1 pair, only 2 pair, only 3 pair, or all 4 pairs. I hope this is clear. The next section is languages. There has been 3 questions which are directly or indirectly related to languages. In 2014, that asked, consider the following languages, Gujarati, Kannada, Telugu, which of the above have been declared as classical languages. First thing is you have to know what is a classical language and what is the criteria and how a classical language is being declared by the government. So which of the following have been declared as constitutional language by the government? So you have to always learn what are the classical languages. Any issues with that? Right now, for example, if any particular language, if they're asking for classical language status, you should know what are those languages and what are the criteria on which the languages are selected and how they are selected and now they are notified. What are the benefits of for the language if it is declared as a classical language? Again in 2015, after 2014, again they have asked which one of the following was given classical language status recently. Again, classical language is very important. It was asked in 2014, 2015, but they are now asking about which of the following was given classical status. 2021, this question looked different, but this is also related to language. 21st February is declared to be International Mother's Language by UNICEF. The demand that Bangla has to be one of the national languages was raised in the Constituent Assembly of Pakistan. We'll complete till here in this part. In the next part, we will consider the different terms questions. I hope this is clear. So we'll end the session here. Thank you for watching and liking and sharing these videos, and we'll meet in the next video.